female, late to the party. Just had to sort a few things out. Time got away with me. So I do apologise, but we are back for another live before I go away for the rest of this week. Hope everybody is keeping well. No, it's a shame that Barnabus Junction wasn't live tonight. I think maybe man flu. But thank you, Jason, for being quite happy for me to go on during your time. I did make sure I messaged him before, so I didn't go over his live. I remember the first time I went live was the day he was, so I vowed never to do that again. So we are live today and carrying on with the build, which is today is for porch. And we want to thank everybody as well. We've, in the last couple of days, hit 3,000 subscribers. I just can't believe it, neither of us can. It just keeps building, and it does mean a lot to us. You know, everyone's support, the comments, a few new patrons now, which we're really grateful of. You know, as we've said many times, it's not about the money thing. It's there if people want to support us in that way. And it means that sometimes we can continue a little bit quicker with that support. However, we value everyone's comments and input and support just as much. So it's one of those, it's there if you want it. And if you don't, well, we're not going to see you guys any differently. So, not sure who we've got watching tonight. So pop and say hello if you're tuning in. Ah, Jerry. A very good evening to you, lovely. I hope you're keeping well. Any apple pies in the oven, or... I think my building skills are getting a little bit better as we go on. But you've been a major help in the builds so far, especially with the tunnels. The instructions were definitely interesting. Funnily enough, John has been doing some new kits because of his extension, and he found himself building off the old instructions himself, and he said no, even he struggled, so it did make me feel a little bit better about it. So I'm going to get on with the porch today. We've got one more stained glass window. So I'm just asking myself where that has gone, I'm going to need that next, so I apologise for a bit of noise at the minute. So one problem with one left, it's trying to find it. I completely forgot that that one hadn't been done yet. And it's going to be a needle in a haystack job, I think. Unless I've kept it on the desk somewhere. Oh, very good evening to you too. Notice you've been quite active on our comments as well, so it's lovely to see you in the live tonight. I'm wondering where I put that one. Put it in my pot for safekeeping. Yeah. Lots of noise while I'm there for you guys. I do apologise. Oh, where have I put it? You know, one of those safe places and you can't remember where the safe place is. Problem when we've been back and forth, really. It's somewhere, I know it is. There's always something, I think, when I do the lives, isn't there? There's either something I forget or something that doesn't exactly go to plan. But with it being such a tiny piece, it's not going to be the easiest to find. Adventures, Madison and Dad. Yes, we've actually found that through doing free kits now, there's been different instructions with each three, to be honest. Varying levels of what's on the instructions. But what's humbled me is it shows Metcalfe himself have listened to their customers, because the instructions have just got better and better as the kits have progressed. So that's really nice to see that they've taken on board people's comments and done that. So excuse me for a minute, guys. Probably sod's law. I'll find it after. Where has it gone? Ah, there we go. I know I'd put it somewhere. There we go. And Pete, hope you're keeping all. Hope you're keeping. Oh, there. I can't put my teeth in. Hope you're keeping well, lovely. Yeah. You know what? At the start we. Oh. Sorry about that, guys. My holder's not behaving tonight. But yeah, we even 1,000 at a time just seemed unbelievable, unachievable. And then definitely Jason at Barnabus and his shout out just did wonders. And then we had one video, it's still climbing. It's over 100 and I think it's like 105,000 views now. I don't get how, but that definitely brought a lot of new subscribers to the page, which was nice. Oops. Oh dear. I didn't mean to do that, Rob. I don't know if that was just me not typing it correctly, which is usual for me. And Sydney. Hello from Southern California. Everything's going well here. The weather's a bit iffy at the moment, but I hope everything is going well across there for you as well. Across. God, I can't speak for anything tonight, can I, guys? It's lovely to see people tuning in, as always. We're starting off with the porch. So again, one of the tips I was given when cutting was do a couple of cuts rather than just one heavy cut. I've definitely found it comes off a lot easier. Occasionally you miss a bit, but I think at some point my knife does need a replacing. Like Rob said, we can get this far without you guys. Oh no, Adventures, Madison and Dad. I made the church gate and your cat used it as a chew toy. Oh dear. Marion, very good evening, lovely. Oh, Sydney, nice, it's starting to get warm. It was starting to get warm here, then it goes cold, then it goes warm again, then it goes cold. So it's definitely been interesting. But yeah, the instructions have always amazed me, really, how they've changed. Talking of it, we've got all three different sets of instructions here. And this one was the hardest for single track. This is what we can gather is got to be one of the earlier kits. As you can see, there's a few little bits. Then your church was next. And they've added just more to it. It's the same bigger sheet, but it's the same writing. But what you'll notice is when it shows you the parts that you're actually putting together, on the oldest kit, there is just no kind of look, no printed effect, where this shows you, you know, the brick wall. This one showed nothing, and if it wasn't for Jerry and others on the live that night, I actually glued the front wall the wrong way. Initially, I was able to fix it, but it just, because you didn't have that show, it was very hard. And then this one is a little bit easier, because again, you've got the pictures. But the easiest I found is what appears to be one of the newer ones. That, you know, they've thought about saving the trees and the environment, so it's smaller size. Talks about your pre-build preparation, and it just seems a little bit easier. So to me, that's a good to Metcalfe, because they're clearly listening to people that are building the kits and their opinions. So it really shows that they have taken thought and do listen to people, which for me, again, is another thumbs up for them. So I'm just going to catch a few comments. I know Rob is on here commenting as well, so if I do miss anything, I don't mean to. And if it is anything specifically for me, I know Rob will let me know. You know, otherwise I know you guys are usually talking to each other as well, which is really lovely to see. So have we got any? Adventures Madison and Dad, is there any name we can call you other than that? Because it is quite long, if no worries if not. Oh, hey, yeah, it is nice in the caravan this week, rain pounding on the roof. That's one thing I do love about summer, is just hearing the storms and the rain, and it's quite relaxing. Oh, Choberton Junction. Now, if you guys didn't know, Inverted Popes, who used to comment a lot, especially on my live stream, has actually started to build a model railway again. Quite humbling, he actually turned around to us and said our videos is what has helped him to, you know, think about and actually start doing a layout again. But if anybody wants to head over there to follow his progress, his name is up on the chat. I think you just click on the name and you can get to his channel. So we do wish you the best of luck with that, and it, you know, it means a lot to us that we're obviously not only are we keeping people entertained, but we're inspiring people to just either start a layout or go back to it, and that. So it's nice that we're also doing that for people, as well as keeping people entertained with our back and forth with each other. So, and yes, coloured windows, I'm just seeing about that. There is links that we can post as well. We've got ones from eBay, probably won't show as well until we get lights inside, but they have a gorgeous, oh sorry, I'm trying to do this with my light bar without showing too badly. I don't think I'm going to get rid of it, but you can get the rough effect there of the stained glass windows, and they are truly beautiful. And it was actually Jason and I think somebody else at the time that actually put us onto these. However, if you found you've already built the church, head over to Barnabus Junction, and Jason actually did a live build where he was replacing the stock ones that came with the church into these stained glass ones. So if you feel, yes, I want these still, there is a way to do it. I was just quite lucky that I'd literally just built the tower. We waited for it to be ordered and came for it, and it came in post pretty quick. So I was able to stick this one in and continue the build with the new ones. And I think it's the second live I do go through which glass window colorate with the ones on the kit. We also realise as well that this is an updated version of the kit. Again, Jason sent me pictures. It's kind of cut here, so you've only got one window on this side. All this is one level. Again, I think they've listened to comments and just, it's more support that they've built up with it. So again, it just shows Metcalfe really do listen to comments of people building them. So what have we got here? Problem when I go on, I miss all the comments. And Choberton, although I'm probably still going to call you Inverted just out of habit. But you know, it's great that we've inspired you to just get up and going. It's not easy sometimes, is it? And I know some people, they just can't do a build at the moment because of location or finances, or there's so many different reasons. But it is nice that at least one person we've inspired to get back into it, and you know, that's part of what our channel is about, and helping people at the same stage as us all before. Pardon me. And Pete, yeah, right, I think Rob will go with lighting at some point. That's just another part into it. Tim, very good evening, lovely. Hope you're keeping well. Who's going to be singing the hymns? Well, I actually used to sing in a church choir, so I suppose that'll be me. Wasn't it, Rob? I think we were at a funeral of a dear friend last year. Rob actually turned around to me and said, "Oh, you can sing." But I do appreciate choral music, so I think that would probably be me. Oh, Sydney, wife told you that if you wanted to get in trains, you have to sell all your model stash. What models are you into? Ah, Lord Alan. You've been hidden away for a while. Has the Lord been visiting away? I hope you're keeping well. It's nice to see everyone pop in, and that's all. I probably should get on with the build. I know Rob will keep an eye on comments. Let me know if there's anything specifically for me, and I will try and keep in touch with it where I can. So, Sydney, that is amazing. World War II ships, planes, tanks, and submarines. That's cool. But yeah, depending on your collection size, I guess why the missus might say that. So we fold down the 2 small tabs. Fold it the right way, not the wrong way. And glue these down. Lord Alan, seeing as you've been missing in action lately, Troubleshooting Junction, who you've seen, is Inverted Popes, who's been quite active on the live streams. He's now got back into model railway himself and started up a channel. Yeah, Tim, I'm looking at making the porch tonight, so the only thing I won't be doing is, because we've still not decided on where it's going on the layout, is it won't be attached to the sides tonight until we decide where exactly it's going, just so we know which side to put it. It's the same with the clock tower as well. I won't be adding any details like that until we know where it's going. So it's one of those, it's hopefully going to be mostly finished, but we will get there slowly. And John A. Dawson, very good evening, or afternoon, sorry, you're across the water, aren't you? So for you it is the afternoon, it's evening here for us now. So touch for small glazing. So the last glazing is going on the kit. Let's use lovely stained glass windows. I'm so glad we had this. Just make sure I've got it the right way. Yep. Which one is that going on? So one's it on there. Ah, so we double it, right. Trying to think how big, so I can actually do it quite big just for extra support. I've definitely found when cutting these strips, it is certainly a lot easier to do very small cuts at a time, you know, not like I used to do when building the kits, just pressing on it hard. So small and gentle with these is definitely the best way. So, and we may even repurpose the old stained glass windows, so. And Michael Buckley, and good evening. Welcome aboard. Is that somebody new? I was going to say, I'm not sure I recognise the name. So welcome aboard. Oh, it is your first time joining my live stream, so very welcome. You will find the lads and lasses on here are lovely. We actually had a troubleshooting with one of our members, members, it isn't a member thing, is it? But one person had questions, so we actually managed to help them get a problem sorted, as well as putting them onto Facebook, because there's a lot of the community are here are on a page on Facebook, Finnerton Central. It's linked with Finnerton Central train station that's on here on YouTube. He created a Facebook page, and a lot of the community on our channel is on there as well. So if you do ever have any issues or questions, or even just want to show how your layout's going, certainly pop onto that Facebook page. It's definitely a good one to join. Some of them can be a bit iffy. You know, I found sometimes on some I'd ask questions and people didn't even bother to answer. So, and SJ Dusty, very good evening. We're talking about it now. Did you get your point issue sorted? So, we're going to get this stuck on and attached. Now, I still haven't managed to get the rocket glue that is for glazing. That's not one we've got yet, but it is just for PVA on here. But it works just as well, and for the glazing, because it's thin enough, it doesn't take too long to dry anyway, so it's not really a problem. I'm just going to get that stuck on. Afraid it might go off camera for a minute, just so I can make sure I get it all lined up where it needs to be. Close. So that is our final piece of glazing on the kit. As I said, these do look amazing under the light, so I really can't wait until we get it lit up. Rikus Vander. Oh, I don't want to mispronounce your surname. Dude and Dudette. Over here in Africa, so we're even reaching Africa now. That is amazing how our stream is just going all around the world. It is amazing. You know, it is amazing. So I'm waiting for load shedding, 2200 hours till midnight, so I can't start anything now. My workbench is so neat. The reason this desk is so neat is it's kind of multi-purpose. It's actually Rob's desk. I started staying here and it kind of became a joint one with my portraits, and now it's kind of kit building as well. So it's not one of those, unfortunately, that my art stuff gets left out. It kind of gets put away after. But I imagine we might lose you then, because they still turn the power off over. But I think South Africa as well have still got the power going off, haven't they? Which is a shame, so. Alan, I haven't actually caught it. We were kind of a bit busy today just with my birthday celebrations and things, so we didn't even really get to go in the shed much today. We've started a video, so we did get there for a little bit, but I haven't actually been on the computer much today, so I will check it out while I'm working away. I'm sure I'll have time to do that. So now I've glued on the last bit of glazing. We're just fixing these all together, and thank you, Sydney. I didn't say it for that reason, but I didn't want Alan to think it was me not just tuning in. I do always try and check out everyone's videos where I can. So I think on this, because the glazing is covered, I am going to use this glue. It's more for look on the glazing, but that bit's already covered now, so should be all right to use for rocket glue there. And are we going to any model railway shows this year? We are actually hoping to go to the one in Crewe, and I think there's one in Llandudno in the summer as well. Obviously, it depends with work if we get a big job or something. But we do hopefully want to get to the one in Crewe. And hopefully Llandudno. We're not... Obviously, it also depends on finances, because there's not as much this way. So, even Crewe for us is a 2-hour travel. So, it does vary. But we will, what we always try and do when we do go to any fairs or anything, we do tend to put a communities post, just so if anybody is going, it's a chance to maybe meet people face to face. So we do tend to let people know if we are. And thank you for the birthday wishes, guys. Another year older, but I'm not sure about wiser. And good evening from Paris. Oh, we really are getting around the globe today, aren't we? Oh, it's really lovely to see people around the world getting in touch. It's nice that our channel is now reaching, I suppose, internationally. I don't think we ever expected that one. So I think we've had what? We've had America, Africa, and now France. So being Paris, you've probably not had much better weather than us yourselves at the moment. So I am just looking for my base card for porch. I think this is all the Lichgate though. So bear with me, guys. I'm doing my usual. We have reached Paris as well. I would say we're an international channel now. We've reached America, Africa, and Paris.
Just a quick one. Save me typing loads. Sydney, if you drop a message to our Facebook page, I'll just price it up, shipping this side, because I'm sure it'll cost less than $175. That's a bit ridiculous. I had a watch to get repaired, and I sent it to California, where it was made, and I don't think it cost me £60, including insurance, which would be what, $80, if that. But yeah, drop us a message on the Facebook page if you can, mate, and I'll price some things up my side.
I'd have thought you'd stop counting by now. Well, Jerry, I thought you were my friend. I'm not even 30 yet. I've still got another year.
Don't pick on Jerry.
He said he would have thought I would have stopped counting by now for my age.
How much crap has Jerry got you out of?
No, he has, to be fair.
So don't pick on him.
Oh, he's on that line now, though. That's it. Oh, South Africa. You're actually South Africa, so... Bear with me 2 secs, guys. So, yeah, 21. I don't mind. I think when I hit 30, it might change a bit. So, the Llandudno one, the Llandudno junction one, I think it's in July. I'm hoping by the time Rob gets upstairs, it'll go on this point, but we will look into it again. We wrote the date down somewhere, but I think I'll drop you a message, Alan, if I can remember it. I've got enough to do, so I'm sure I think I should do a note for it. You didn't go to Peterborough. No, we haven't gone to Peterborough. Not yet, anyone. You're 21 3 times over. Oh, don't look it, I'm sure. Wish you could hit 30. Wish I could turn the clock back 12 years. Yeah, not 30 quite yet. I've got one more year. But it's been a lovely day anyway, so we just need our porch floor. Gotta say, at least it didn't rain heavy today, so I don't know if most people else in the UK, it's you know, you're getting days where it's gloomy but it doesn't rain, and then it looks like it's going to, and then it's sun. It just can't make up its mind. It's certainly that at the moment, isn't it? So you just don't know what to do. So I've got to attach this to the porch floor. Again, if it wasn't for the rocket glue, I'd still be sitting there holding them now. I'm cutting off the bottom of the screen, right. If I do it at a slight angle, that might be a bit better for people to see. I do apologise. So it is a breeze, believe me. Mind you, time does speed up from there. Right, so next year I need to take it slow, eh? Sydney. No, the church has been going on a couple of weeks, I think, just with me not always being able to do as many lives. So we've had the church, since we went to, I've gone blank on the name of the shop. Shop that we went to and we did the video about. I've just gone blank. Rudland Modelled. I've had it since then, but we do have a new one in the works because I'm not sure whether I'll get this finished tonight, but obviously one more live and it probably will be done. So we do have an idea for the next one for me to build. Michael Buckley, would you consider going to Chester or Milton Keynes expeditions? Thinking of going to check out Pete Waterman's and Friends model railway layout called Making. That's down to Rob. I don't drive yet, so. And Pete, my birthday is actually today, so that's why I didn't have a chance to see the Dragons live stream. Lord Allen's. I suppose they could say Lords can be a dragon. Jason, thank you. You're still getting over your man flu, hey? Although I believe it is actually seen as a proper illness now. I don't know if it's catching through the live stream. That's the one thing about these can be a little bit tricky with lining up though, so this could be interesting. I'm going to do one side at a time. Yeah, I think I'm going to do one side at a time just to make sure. This is the only bit I tend to struggle with is these boards, because you really do have to get it lined up properly. So again, I do apologise if it goes off the view. It's not intentional, it's just me trying to make sure I've got it spot on. Not that I'm a perfectionist in any way. I'm actually going to do this side just to get that support. Too much glue there, but you shan't see it's on the back. Yep, and it's gone that side. These are definitely not the easiest to do. It's for one bit I'm not a fan of is doing these baseboards. Just bear with me, guys, while I try to get this to stick. I should have done it on the flat to start with, really, shouldn't I? Would have probably been a lot easier. But yes, Jason, me and Rob do hope you start feeling better soon. And it's appreciated you letting me go live during your kind of time. I think ever since that first one when you were live, when I went live, I'm very cautious not to step on your toes, so. Peach sing me happy birthday. Jason sung me happy birthday. It means a lot, guys. Oh no, my missus has got it as well, and I bet she's blaming you. There is a few bugs going around at the minute. You know, I think what's not helping us over in England is for just the change of weather. We've got warm, lovely weather one day and then bitter cold the next couple of days. So I think it's definitely playing havoc. You don't know from one day to the next what kind of clothing you need. Oh, Should we just start again with this one, because it's really not gone well. Just a bit of a tidy up. Start again. That's one thing I am not a fan of on these kits. But I suppose there's not a lot you can do. It is fiddly. Although it was harder with the end gauge, so I took my hat off to end gauge. Yeah, and as Rob said, we are thinking of everybody that knew Bernie. Obviously, I think he wasn't doing as much once we'd really come onto the model scene, so we didn't really know him, but we are thinking of everybody that did. We know it is a very tight-knit community, so a lot of you will be thinking of him. And why am I being told off? Tell us to keep off in check. No, that's very true. You do never know what's around the corner, and it's scary to think, isn't it? Things can change in an instant. I'll tell you, I'm one of the soppiest, because you just never know. And problem is, it's not even an age thing, is it? It's but yeah, we are thinking of you all. It's never easy to lose a friend. Ugh, I'm not winning with this. I'm going to get Rob to try and have a go in a minute. Not winning at all. Anybody got any tips for this? Because right now, it is doing me nut, as they say. For some reason, my cardboard is not liking the glue tonight. I think possibly a little bit too much. So just be careful when applying your glue as well, guys. I might try and do one side and then the other. Oh, yeah, just seeing bend the side walls around it to stabilise it. Oh, Robert's Jason done a tribute to him. Again, I've not really been online at all today. So we're going to have another go at this. Hopefully I'm not going to tear it apart in the next 5 minutes. So it is flat, so it should... I think I'm just going to go ahead and get it all glued. And then just stick it on. Hope for the best, as people are saying, fold it around. So... but it's just not the easiest. And now it's sticking, sod's law. I don't understand that. It wasn't sticking a minute ago. Anybody else find that? I think that is the only problem with these bits, is it can get very difficult to stick because you're literally gluing onto a tiniest bit, you know, rather than connecting up. So it's not the easiest thing to glue and stick, is it, this part? Let's just make sure that is in. That is in, up against the flat surface. Oh, these are too fiddly, aren't they? No, there's one side done. This side wasn't even glued, but for some reason it's stuck. We'll just pop a drop of glue in this corner as well, because it's kind of stuck, but it's not fully stuck. So I just want to make sure from underneath that it sticks here as well.
Have you got my phone?
No. Your phone's on charge.
Oh, okay.
Have you forgot I put it on charge for you?
Yeah. Mine's brain damage. What's your excuse?
I remembered where it was. So we're just reinforcing that side because it had kind of reattached itself. But I just want to make sure it does stick. So I've just added that dash of glue underneath because you won't see it.
Jerry will tell you off.
Jerry will tell me off. Jerry always tells me off. That's...
You've just done it again, haven't you?
No, this is... Look, it's pulled apart.
What?
Oh. Weather folded. Look at that, guys. Never had that before. I will be very careful, please.
Would you like me to hold it while you're doing
No,
it?
no, 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 Rob, you're not seeing. Careful, that has split.
I know, that's why I'm trying to hold it.
Sorry, guys, we're having a domestic again. I just need
Put a
to get...
spot of glue in that corner.
No, I'm just going to build that side up first, and then I've not got this flapping around, I think. Oh, guys, it's... No, I need glue there, please. You know, guys, I don't think I've ever done a live where it's ever gone completely smoothly, you know.
You put it in place and then I'll hold it.
No, oh, you've pressed too hard. You're pressing too hard, sweetheart.
I'm not pressing.
No. Yeah, I don't think we're ever going to get a live where it completely works. And I'm sorry, it is slightly off you. That should be fine. It's that quick drying. No. What is happening?
Put a spot of glue on the inside.
No, I can't see it because your fingers are in the way. And the glue's dripped there. 2 secs, guys. Technical errors or just typical me and nothing goes fully right.
Fold that in. Fold that in. Put the glue on the inside there. No one's going to see it.
No, the problem is it needs to stick to that bit. So what's glue on the inside going to do? It literally sticks to that thin bit.
Yeah. And if you put it down that corner there, put it in there and it'll stick both.
But it's now not in line.
We'll line it up first.
Oh dear, guys. And did I see somebody just say they were thinking of building another kit and maybe not?
Put a run of glue there.
Problem is, as Alan has said, too much and my cardboard starts going. That's what I'm being careful of. But you put it on top so I don't get... It's got to be on the edge, not on top.
Well, just hold it there for a minute.
Oh dear. As I said, guys, just laugh away because it just never goes fully straight, does it?
And back as it's
Daily basis.
As long as I can have the red one, Paul.
Oh dear. I would definitely do the kits. They're absolutely fine. I think it's just me, to be honest, guys.
Just stuck now.
Yeah, what I might do is just add a little bit there. For some reason that has split. I don't know why.
Again, do it on the inside and you'll see it.
But what I don't understand is I don't know if there's possibly a small little fault in this kit because some of the cutting wasn't the best either, was it?
Possibly a fault in it.
It hasn't done it, Rob, because it's down there. This is what I'm saying. I'm going to have to do a little repair, I think, guys.
Yeah, if you do it on the front, you'll see it.
Yeah, but it's going to come through anyway. Because look, I've done it there and it doesn't go into it where I need it.
Oh, I'm staying there.
Yeah, as I said, I'm not sure if there's a slight fault with this kit, guys. Thank you for your help, sweetheart. Because for some reason, even when cutting it, some of the cuts weren't indented properly. So I don't know if possibly there is just a fault with this kit. Pardon me. What were we reading? Good evening, Andy. Thank you, Marion. I know it's just, I think it's comical for everybody that something always goes wrong. We always get past it, don't we? But there's always something going on in these lives. You can say we don't bore you guys anyway, do we? But we are finally glued together. Lots of glue later and Patience and Rob and no handbags at dawn though, unfortunately. I don't have a red one, so. And Rob says red is his colour, so. But yeah, I think possibly keep an eye for this bit in the kit, guys. So I always say maybe build a few seconds behind me for any mistakes and bits that just go wrong. So we should be able to fix this up maybe with a bit of paint after. As I said, that's very strangely where the fold is. It started tearing itself. I don't know if you saw that when I was doing that. But it seems to have set now. But it won't be put onto the actual kit anyway straight away until we know where it's going. When you put the inside wall in, it will help strengthen that corner. So Choberton, Rob had one. I think he wasn't, we just don't have windows. And Howard Pomfret, evening everyone. Have I seen you on our live before? If not, a very good welcome. So I have glued a cigarette to a Dremel once. Oh. But again, I'm sure everyone will get in touch with us. And I know if you are thinking of using these kits, you can actually print out the blueprints as such for base, so you know where you can fit it in as well. Yeah, that's another one, Jerry. Again, because we're not sure where it's going. I don't know how clean it's going to look or how messed it's going to look, if that makes sense. So, Sydney, we're not actually sure what I'm going to be building yet. Yeah, we've got an idea, but we're not entirely sure yet what one I'm going to go with next. And Robert Pert can't be a good buttress. I'm not actually there yet. We've just got to finish this last bit of a porch, but I am leaving it to settle a minute because of how that went. Update, current house doesn't have any space for railway. Oh, I'm sorry about that. This is what we said before. You know, some people have had to stop their layouts just due to not having space and things. Have you ever thought of going maybe a smaller gauge? I know some people have gone to Z gauge and that just to be able to have it, you know, space in a suitcase or something. Although N gauge is hard enough with kits, so I can't even imagine Z gauge. And Jeff, very good evening. I hope you're keeping well. Choberton, I think there is a program you can use to design the layouts. I can't think of the name. Rob, can you? There is a program, but it is only on Windows, and you do have to pay for it. But again, I'm sure if you post on the community page on Facebook or ask on here, people will be happy to help. I would suggest Facebook, because obviously once this is off, it's a lot harder for people, and they say you can post pictures as well. So maybe head there and drop it on there, and I'm sure people will give you a hand with that, buddy. So we've got the porch. This will add, again, I've just seen it as well, an extra strengthen. You're a Mac user. I'm not sure if there's a program for Mac. I don't know where Rob is at the second, or if he's got it turned down or something. So I'm not sure if there is a program for Mac, but I know there is for Windows. Any Rail is a good program. Okay, is that Mac compatible, or is it just Windows? Have you seen that website that had paper kits that you can buy and print your mount on cars, scale things, or something it's called? They have a couple of free ones. Tempted to try it. Oh, Robert, let us know how you get on. It would definitely be interesting. And gravestones. Oh, we do have a couple on it. If you head back, Choberton, people have actually put a few scum. It's a free design program. So there are a couple that people have posted on here. Maybe write down the time on a bit of paper or something, and then you can play it back, and the comments will be there for you to look back on as well. And as for gravestones, aha! kit bashing, as they say. I have kept my offcuts. We saw a post on Facebook. I have some little gravestones here to make up, and possibly look at some 3D printed ones as well. But without knowing where it's going and the space I've got, I can't really think about that at the moment. So those are staying there ready for me to think about it then. But gravestones will be the plan. So we've got our strengthener in here. This should help as well with everything, especially as it's decided it has gone. So hopefully that will help fix the issue we've just had. Only problem with the amount of glue I've used there, it is a little bit tight. So I'm just going to head and get this glued up and stuck on. I'm glad you've got the help. As I said, that's what we do love about this community, is everybody helping everyone. I doubt we'd be where we are if it wasn't for people's help. Or if we had have got to this stage, there'd probably be a few things we'd have to go back and correct. I.e. where the upper and lower part of our track meet. Once it came to scenery, I think then we'd have realised of, oh dear, what are we going to do now, kind of thing. So it honestly is a great community. So we do have our porch support there now as well. As others have said, Jerry, and that you have that support now as well here where it had broke. I'm just going to give it a little push just to try and keep it in line. So we look the part there as well. And then we've got our roof to put on. Doorstep. Why have I got a doorstep there? Not sure why that's not. So we've got our roof and our... So we're almost done with this. So we might go ahead and do the buttresses, because as I said, we won't be attaching the porch tonight. This is just because we've not decided exactly where we want it on our layout. I do apologise. Again, my camera I've moved. Yeah, I'm glad you're finding that community. That's what's important, isn't it? No one putting you down, or, you know, we all started somewhere, as I like to say in anything. So while I'm busy away, Rob's going to be working on the layout this week. So God knows what I'm going to come back to. Tools everywhere, and it'll keep him busy and out of mischief, I think. So the roof actually fits onto the door frame. So you've got a nicety there, just so it all sits nicely and you don't have to worry too much about where it fits. So let's go ahead and get that stuck down. I'm not doing well with my camera placement tonight, I think. I left my lid of the glue open again. I think it's because I've used PVA for so long, so I'm so used to it just not drying up and only overnight kind of thing. I'm just going to get everything glued up ready. I can get it stuck in, and then that is our porch made up as well. And once we decide where, and I don't even think initially I will attach it, only because you know what we are like with just changing our minds. And we do have a change coming up on our next video, so keep an eye out for that one. Ah, Jeff, so if you've got a Metcalfe church from about 3 years ago, I believe this one is a newer design. I was speaking with Jason and he actually sent us pictures of his, and it appears that with this end you've only got one window. The top of the roof is flat compared to mine with the different levels. So just keep an eye if you're watching my video to do it. There is slight differences, I believe. I imagine it would be most of the same. But just keep an eye, especially if you're looking for things that are on mine that aren't on yours.
Is the alarm in the shed set?
You think, let's walk around the church. Ah, Paul, yeah, this is what I'm going to really focus on, but I am enjoying getting stuck in with Rob on the actual building of the track and the corking. I know a few people have suggested cutting the cork in half. It's not me deliberately, well, I suppose one sense it could be seen as deliberately ignoring the comments about cutting the cork in half, but I suppose it's, for me, I'm just a little bit nervous with doing it that way, because my ways works for me, if that makes sense. So I'm a little bit nervous of doing it the other way and messing it up. So that mouse looks like a mini transformer. Ah, well, you never know. It lights up as well, so it is alive. No, I know, Rob, you keep telling me to cut it. It's just nervousness, as I said to you, wasn't it? I'm just, because I'm not exactly sure how people mean, whether you cut it in half so it's completely apart from each other, or whether you do it as a slit so it's still attached. I'm just struggling to picture it, to be honest. And I think that's just my confidence in doing it. Again, when I'm adamant I'm going to do something, I do become a bit of a perfectionist. People have probably seen when I've been building it. I just don't want to go wrong, especially, you know, how important the layout is to it all. And I can be quite a perfectionist when it comes to things like that. So, and weirdly enough, this stone doesn't fit both sides. So I might get in touch with Metcalfe and say, just look, I'm not sure if it was a slight printing error or something on this kit. As usually these fit and butt up quite nicely, but just here you actually have a gap. So I'm not quite sure. This is in this side, but for some reason it's not the other. So I definitely think I might get in touch with them, and just to see, you know, because it's one of those things, they do listen to customers, and if they don't know there's issues, then how can they fix them? Well, they might come back and say it's something they already know. But there we go, guys. That is our porch made up. That will attach to one of the side walls. As you can see, you've got your slit in there to fit it into. And you also have step, I did see it. You've got the doorstep here, so I don't know if that comes into it as well. But as I said, for now, we're going to leave attaching it. Just because we don't know exactly in this point in time where it's going. So we'll leave it for there for now. Glad that one's over with. making sure that's all. Unless I'm missing all the pieces, which I don't seem to be. The one thing I've noticed on this as well is a lot of the stuff is together. So it's a lot easier to find. The lich gate is glued to the other side. I can picture where. Glue it to the... Are you sure, Rob? Because I might still do it off alive anyway, just because we were meant to take it out, and I just know what we're like for changing plans at the moment. But it will stick like that. Okie doke. I might add it after just so I'm not knocking it, especially because of how difficult it was to glue. He's put it in writing there so we can back you up. Jerry, you've got yourself back then after your comments earlier. Weird thing, I haven't got the top stones there. Oh, it's already got them built in, that's why. That's what I've noticed, guys. Usually when you do the roof, you get the stones, or the two on the sides were what you folded up already, so. But we can move on to the buttresses, as they say. Unless I've said it wrong. There are 2 optional light designed to fit on the top of the corners. 2? Oh, Jesus. You know, I'm definitely going to read this one, guys. Oh, jeez. You've got, I'm sure it's these ones here. You've got all these inner 4s. You had a close-up of my nose. Oh, I'm sorry. That's my fault for reading the... That's probably easier than me avoiding my nose. Coffee time. I noticed how you back away after that there. Although I'm not getting involved. I'm just busy creating the kit, you see. You guys, I'm really nervous of you guys having to just see my nose or my face. It's not the prettiest sight, so. See, you can choose to have the buttresses or not. Again, Rob, I don't know if you want them on it or whether you just want to keep it like this. Again, it really goes with the layout, doesn't it? So I can move on to the lich gate while you make up your mind with that as well if you want. Because this bit does get a little bit complicated. A lich gate might be easier for me to do tonight, I have to admit. Yeah, so I don't know if we need those, Rob. I don't know about you. Do you want me to leave those ones for now and then we can make up our mind? Because I think that does look nice as it is. It's up to you though, Rob, whether you want it as mad or just as simple like that. You can have it as optional, so I don't know. I kind of like it as it is now. Well, you've got the castle as it, the church as it is now. Yeah, exactly, Paul. Buttresses or no buttresses. But I kind of like the look without. I don't know what you think. Again, I can add it here later because it is a bit complicated. So I was thinking of making me lich gates tonight and going back to that one. You think that's weird? You see my layout. Let's make a brothel so I don't bury you. No, put them on, please. Okay. Let's see how my brain copes. Otherwise, I might be skipping to the lich gate and going back to these ones. These are fiddly, these next bit. For some reason, whenever I'm on a live, my nose starts playing up. So I do apologise, guys. You don't have a cut. Let's cut one of them, but it hasn't. There we go. Let's stick up the top. Where are we sticking? Let's put these two off. There we go. Yeah, I did already say earlier, didn't I, with Jason? It's catching. So I've got to read through this, guys, because this is a... If you layer them on top of each other, why do they put them together? That's... Oh, where is it talking about? 2 seconds, guys. I've got to... Hi, Arthur. Hope you're keeping well. There we go. So, guess we need one of these as well. The outer wall goes into here. Again, I think what I'll probably do for sake of you guys is, because it's the same process, I'll do one of these on the live and one of them off the live, just so you're not having to watch the same thing. Because it's exactly the same process, I think, so. Just got to stick these together and then build it up, I believe. And you just fold these pieces around it and use the capping stones. So yep. Plate this split in half there. There we go. How are we doing this? Now, to keep it all in a line, it's not exactly flat because you've got the different layers and the different textures outside. Unless, guys, do I split up the kits for 2 lots of supports so they're all flat? Because at the moment I have one of the smooth sides joining up with the next one rather than all being flat. So what are you guys that have built this before? You've got the cutouts, or the strengtheners, I suppose. Now, when you cut them out, two of these are joined together. But to get them to line up, you always have a slightly raised side, don't you? And a slightly flatter side. Where if you use the two from the first lot that come together, you've got like a smooth side and a slightly raised side on top of each other. So do you use those, or do you tend to break them all up so you've got all of the flat ones on top of each other? Unless I'm speaking in Gracie's. Oh, fair enough, Jerry. I will just continue sticking them together to each other then. I just wasn't sure if that would affect the build, because some of them are, isn't it? When I did the capping stones before, I think I made a slight mistake on that, didn't I? Oh, that was way too big. Why is it when you want a massive blob, it doesn't give you it, and when you do, and yeah, I get absolutely tiny ones when I don't want them. There we go. We started with the biggest blob at the top, and it ended up with the smallest one with it. That is just a sod's law. So just making sure these are all lined up. And typical, smallest ends aren't sticking. So we have got a bit of slight glue excess there. That bubble was just not plain ball, was it? Everything is nicely lined up. It's one thing they really do not stress, but make sure it's important that they do all line up together. So and again, this rocket card glue is brilliant at drying pretty quick, because I imagine with the PVA glue I'd probably still be there holding it now. So again, too big a one than what I wanted. Again, just making sure that stays lined up. Again, if I know we've got a first time viewer tonight, this rocket card glue, while it dries quicker than PVA, you do still have time just to have a play moving around things. So if you do put something slightly misaligned, you do have that slight bit of time to get in and realign everything. So don't panic too much. It has taken me a while to get fully confident with this glue, and I wouldn't even say I'm fully there yet, so make sure you put the lid on it as well. Completely out of line that time. So as you can see, that's made such a big difference. You have that thickness there for where you need it. So next, these go here, and then you build them up together. So I'm just going to get this glued on and then fold everything over. I don't know if my comments are working because I've not seen any for a little bit. I know it's quite active. If it isn't, it isn't. But just if people are trying to comment and it's having difficulties with it going through. Oh no, comments just come through, so it is working. I just always think it's important to check just in case of difficulties. Technical. Even. Not doing very good with my speaking tonight, guys, am I? So we've got this all lined up. No worries, guys. I just thought I would check. I'm not saying it has to be everyone talking. But I'd rather have said it in case there was an issue and people thought I was ignoring. So now this recommends going from the bottom upwards. I'm just going to get everything bent. Ready to put in place. Just going to pre-bend them as such. I am finding there is a slight gap between these. Did anybody else find when building these there was a slight gap? Jeff, yes, usually with excess. Another one I find is cotton buds. It seems to soak it up quite well. So anybody else that have built these, have you ever noticed a gap between these? Again, I'm trying to figure out whether there's a fault with this kit or not. That seems like quite a big gap. I know you do put the capping stones on, but it just seems quite big of a gap. Quite sure what's happening with that one. And for some reason, I'm not sure what's happening there. You put the capping stones on after, so. Bear with me, guys. I think the cat is trying to get upstairs. Oh, baby, could you not get in? Eh? Sorry, guys, not big enough gap between the doors, so the poor cat was trying to get back in. So let's get these off before we add any glue. Not coming off the easiest. There we go, that one's off there as well. So these go in, and then you've got your capping stones to put on top. Yes, I noticed that now, actually. Thank you for that. I've just seen it, Jeff. The laminated pieces should have been stuck deeper into the wrap. That's me for not reading that as best, isn't it? Sit flush with the bottom edge. That's fine. Then take it and this one. Fix the inner former to the back of a long wall so the stepped edges are pushed tightly against the free walls and fold around it. So yes, I've gone completely wrong there. Yeah, I was just going to say, because it's on the inside, I can get away that if I do tear anything off, it won't be noticeable. So I was going to say, if it was the front, I would be worried about brickwork and showing, but I will. That's the, I suppose, the slight downside to using this glue, but it still comes off pretty good, to be honest. Especially if it's early on, I make mistakes, so it is possible with a decent knife. However, you've just got to be so careful that you don't cut into it and ruin it. So I tend to start with the sharp edge of my knife and then actually use the back of the knife. Careful of your fingers, guys, to try and get to the bottom of it. That way I'm not risking slicing down anything. Because these knives are pretty decent. That's what I said. It wouldn't be one of my lives without something gone slightly wrong. One of these days I will build a kit with no issues, and I think you guys will wonder if it's me or not, or if I've been kidnapped. I am being careful still though, because I obviously don't want to go through. As I said, I am using the back of the knife on this occasion. That way I run less risk of actually cutting through. Possibly a slower process, but it saves any mistakes and having any spares to fix it. But at least the next one should be easier. I am sorry for this boring interlude, guys. If it wasn't for YouTube copyright, I'd get you some music playing. Even though you can post videos of actual songs and not get copyrighted. I don't know, a lot of those older videos that are literally videos of music. I'm not sure how they get away with it without the copyright. I'm just being very careful because of the outer edge. And obviously not cutting myself. Yes, I'm looking forward to making trees and things. It's not quite there yet. I do also have a tree I've got in mind to make. Did you send me the link on Facebook, Pete? I can't remember. I know you sent it. I just cannot remember where. It might be nearer the time. I just ask you to remind me. Again, my memory's awful. There we go. Right, let's tidy up and start again, guys. Again, nothing happened here. But I would, well, it's probably boring for you guys at that stage. I would far rather take my time than mess up that at any stage. So I'm just going to get my smooth edges here again. And then it'll be as if it never happened. But hey, would it be alive without mistakes? Ah, oh, it's silly, isn't it? These copyrights. I don't get it. I think my first live, we got issued a warning, and it wasn't even very loud. It was a playlist of not even no music. It was one of those like chill ones. and it came up about it. But I know there are other artists, and like yourself, even though it's your own music, you know, I don't know how you go down the road of proving that. But yeah, it's a lot harder, and yet you still see videos from 6 years ago, you know, song albums and whole albums really, isn't it? So I don't get how they're allowed in terms of copyright. And all these people that are probably raking in money from it, because so many people are Chesterfield Junction. I'm gonna take, oh, I can't take a picture of it because my phone's doing the live stream. I keep, do you mind, Pete, sending it to me again, please? I will make sure I save it to my notes this time. Because the only problem with a live stream is I lose track of when in it people say things sometimes, so it's harder to... I would watch the whole thing, but I personally can't hear my own voice back. So God knows how you guys feel. Or guys and girls. Oh, okay, fair enough. I think it's just for bots they use nowadays, isn't it? I think anything music and it asks you to do a claim, it's... Would you have to send proof of like your... Right, so let's get this all folded over. So there's supposed to be the gap at the back. That's what I've done wrong. Ah. Yeah, so it basically really sits tight inside. All lined up there. Ah. Right, let's try this again. Paul Davis for Dutch Guitar Guy got a copyright hit on one of his compositions by the crowd that stole it. Jesus. Ah. So that's, yes, you have a gap there and then it fits nicely with, right, I'm with you. So it is important to have that gap that side rather than the other side. I'm very thankful to you guys as usual. Otherwise that could have ended very badly. I've just got to make sure when gluing then it's lined up. That's the only problem, isn't it? Making sure it's now lined up with where it needs to be. Caledonian Gateway. I'm not sure I've seen you on this, so welcome to the channel if you are new. I think it's something a lot of singers and things as well don't like listening to their own voices played back. It's...
Did we break it, dear?
No, it was all part of my plan, darling.
Yes. Aren't you lucky Jerry's on tonight?
Yeah, it wasn't actually Jerry. Jerry appeared after I was told about the fix.
Oh.
Although, to be fair, usually he does save my bacon, so...
So what do you do, Rob?
I put it to the edge rather than inside. You leave the gap. Problem is it's more difficult to line up. So I'm just doing this quickly while the glue is drying. It lines up this side rather than the gap at the...
I'll take your word for that.
It's done out straight. That's the only thing, is making sure it lines up there, isn't it? So let's try it again, guys. I think Jerry's just said, Rob, I'll leave a room for 5 minutes. Yes, this is true, Jerry. Whenever you go, it goes to plot. But Caledonian Gateway, yeah, it's lovely you're listening as you're doing your own layout.
Now the big question I want to know, Jerry, have you got the instruction manual open on this one as well? Be honest and answer quickly. I'm waiting for him to type now.
Yeah, probably. It wouldn't surprise me. He probably sees my live and think I bet. Yeah. The problem is he sees my live of these builds and probably gets them up before he even joins.
Yeah. Do you blame him? Oh, Grace is on tonight. I better get this ready to sort her out.
And yeah, Choberton. Choberton. I'm not sure how I'm pronouncing this right, you know. But yeah, it's very much, I think everybody in general hates the sound of their own voices. But other people, it's fine. No, you've never built that kit, but I think the tunnel one you had, and then you have the instructions open for me, Jerry. So it is appreciated. Get a voice changer. I think no one else has complained about my voice, so it's just me, I think. So this I have read right. You start at the bottom. For some reason, my glue is seized up. And now my glue is... Chob said like blob. So Choberton. Yeah, that does help. Choberton. I am sorry if I go to Choberton. DJs pay yearly fare, I think. Not sure on it. I actually know a friend who's a DJ, so I could ask them whatever the DJ question is. Right, take 2. Do these at a time. Oh, I didn't put any glue there. I need the glue here, don't I, as well? Otherwise, it's not going to fix as well, is it? There we go. That's the first one done, guys. Correctly this time, I might add. Yeah. Do you mind getting me a glass of water, please? Oh, you've gone upstairs. I don't think he heard me, or he did, and he's just running off. I dare not show my face on it. Oh, I dealt that, Pete. So, are we going now? Choberton or Choberton? Chob or Chob? I can't remember which one you'd like now. Yeah, friend to be a narrator for you. I want Morgan Freeman as my narrator. If I'm going to have a narrator, it has to be Morgan Freeman. Come on, he's just the best in it, isn't he? I think, was he on one of the evening shows? And he actually does it as a Mickey about that. And he was like, and these people get me to say the same damn narration. And oh, I can't remember which show it was. It's comical. But yes, if anyone's going to narrate my life, it is going to be him. So what are we going now? Are we going Choberton? Like Chob, Gob, or Choberton? Like, oh, I don't know how we'd put it like. Chob, Shove. Oh, I don't know. I put my picture on my mantelpiece to keep the kids away from afar. Oh, Jerry. That's not nice. Right, guys, we've got it done and fixed the right way this time. James L. Jones is the best. Yeah, he's another good one. Let's stick to Chobbers in Blob, my nickname to some. My actual name is Anthony, so happy for all to call me now. Ah, Anthony. It might take a couple of tries, you know what I'm like. But I will try to remember. So we're going Chobbers in Blob, so Chobberton Junction. Right. You might have to tell me that a few times as well. God, I've got worse memory than like a 90-year-old. So we need the buttresses now to cover. They're fiddly and cutting out. A sheet, wherever I've put that. Oh, me. Let's be grateful I'm not Italian saying sheet. You know how they say it. So, turret tops. Cutting stones. So, how does it want me to do this? So, we're cutting there. We're going that one at the top. Guessing these are two just waste ones by any chance. If anybody else knows and wants to, let me know. Jerry, unfortunately for me, I've got one of those faces, one of those accents, so unfortunately people never forget me. I do scar them for life. So, guys, anyone that's built this now, the Buttress capping stones. So we've obviously got this one. But do we go for these? I don't think it's these two small ones. I think it's these ones, but I'm not sure. I should have cut it that way, but I just want to make sure I get this right. Jerry, where are you? Just don't want to do the cut in the wrong place. What are people's fault? The V-shaped one is the topmost and the other two. So we're including these little bits because that's only what's thrown me is they fold, but you fold them over then. See, what would I do without you, Jerry? Who needs a knight in shining armour when you have Jerry? Oh, the only risky thing with these bits is it is just paper, so you've just got to make sure you honestly get that cut in the right place. Otherwise, you're stuffed just ever so slightly. I'm just going to get rid of a load of this. Ah, okay. Oh, yeah, it wants you to fit them, actually. Make sure the tie down straight and overhangs equally with the opposite wall. Yeah, so I do actually need to build it first. I'm glad you said that, Jerry. Say, I honestly would be lost without you. Oh, we're going to glue this. Goes in evenly. Ah, yes, I see now. So that V shape will go in the corner. You've got that one down. Still not quite sure how that looks too long. As long as we get this glued in the right spots. It doesn't look a bit messy on this one. So make sure that's straight and ready. Just a bit of tidy up before I carry on. Yeah, these kits look so easy, don't they, until you go and do them. Ah. Again, this is why I have you, Jerry. I just need to call on you every time I do a live, I think. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the first one attached. Oh, this is gonna be me a pain in the behind to make sure it lines up. Now, I suppose I could do with a rub to decide the angle. Do you choose your own angle, guys, or does it have to be? That looks pretty in the middle. I think that is it. And I'm sorry, due to the light, you guys can't really see what I'm doing. We're going to have a change of angle again. I don't know why. Let's get my camera clean, guys. I think I've got... This is why the light is reflecting. Sorry about this, guys, but... Ah, there we go. That's a bit better. The light was reflecting off it before, so I think I did have a bit of a smudged lens. No, it's still there, actually. Not sure where that's coming from, actually. That's probably the better light for that now. So I'm just going to get this glued up, place it there and hope for the best, as I say. I imagine it will be the edge. Actually, let's see how far in this touches on where I would glue. Yeah, see, it doesn't actually touch the inside that well. The glue will have to be on the edges. That's where it gets a bit rushy as such. And this is not really one you can do one side and then the other. But I think I'm getting there with getting used to using this dropper, especially along straight bits like this. Do occasionally just have to go back with a touch of glue in places because of it being a quick drying. So let's get this first one put on. Make sure we're on the straight. Just wiggle around, guys, just to make sure I've got it straight on the floor. There we go. I don't want it too high and I don't want it too low. Just need to make sure that is in line. I'm actually going to turn it upside down to make sure of that. There we go. That is the... Oh. It was the first one in place. I can see this is another interesting one with gluing together. See, again, it's just a very fine edge to do so with. I think I'm just gonna... trying to make sure those edges all line up, because the last thing we want is it to come apart when moving it. It's certainly not the easiest, that's for sure. Again, one other good thing we have found with this glue, because there's a bit of overspill there where it is slightly repositioned from where I first put it. Even when the glue dries, it's not actually that obvious, thankfully. It's less than when you have the PVA. Actually, it's not as much of a shine as PVA glue. Won't be done before it's ready for the pews. No, I think Rob said now he's decided where it's going, so I'm not sure when exactly it will be built. I swear I'm never going to get it on any of mine. I don't think I'm ever going to get to the point or find a best camera angle, you know. So let's get our cap and stones cut out. I just needed another cut. Always one corner you miss. those buttresses. Yeah, it does make such a difference, doesn't it? While it is fiddly. I don't know, unfortunately, there, if you had to see my face again. I'm sorry if you do get a glimpse of face. It's not the nicest. I don't know how Rob copes. The only thing with these part of the kit, there's no indents in them. You literally have to cut these from scratch. So it's definitely fiddly. But then hey, why wouldn't the kit be? I think one time we get a kit like this that isn't fiddly, we'd be questioning it. It's all part of the fun, I suppose. And then when it's finished, you're just even happier with your work. I missed a touch there. Nobody look now. I'm freehand cutting. Not for the faint-hearted. But I actually feel my freehand cutting is a lot better than with a ruler at that point when it's such a thin line. But of course, very carefully at that point. Just like one bit will not go off the corner. There we go. Got rid of that, and then the last bit at the top. There we go. Oh, God. And I'm seeing Tim. Very good night to you, lovely. Have a good morning in the gym. Rather than you than me, I'm definitely not a morning person, so. I never realised you guys had to see my poor face again there. I'm so sorry. Go. Almost there, guys. Oh, my nose is going tonight. I'm blaming Jason. I really am. So again, just a touch of freehand cutting here, guys. Because this bit, the problem I find with the ruler is I will lose track of a line. I'm just going this very slowly. Look away if you want. It's not for the faint-hearted. But again, maybe this is just for perfectionist in me. There we go. A nice clean edge there without any white. There we go, guys. And I've realised I don't think you had to see any of that with the angle, how it had gone. Robert's dark 99, just in case. I would hope if something happened, he'd be the one to save me. No, I am going to keep with the straight cutting. I think that's just me. Not everyone will want to do it this way. That's just me. I suppose I'm used to it freehand. But I am doing it ever so slowly. There we go. There's one. And again, I am using this mat actually to keep it lined up. I know this is a bit of a slower process, but I'd rather take my time on this bit, guys. And the only problem when you get less paper is you start losing your grip. There we go. Not bad for freehand cutting, I don't think. Ah, Finison. Hi, Peter. Hi, Peter. I'm just reading comments there. Brian, I hope you're keeping okay, lovely. I thought HO was slightly bigger than 00. Correct me if I'm wrong. I thought HO was slightly bigger. Just from what I've seen when I've looking into models. Obviously, please educate me. But I'm sure 00 is 167. And what's HO? Unless I've got my numbers mixed around. Oh, I've got my numbers. Oh, 184. Yeah, I've got my numbers mixed around. Ignore me and listen to the experts. So we have our capping stones here. Not entirely sure how it comes to the connecting bit of this. I'm just going to have a... I've got my numbers the wrong way, you see. If I knew where my nice tweezers were. I think this calls for the tweezers, don't you guys? Hey guys, I go away and it all goes to pot. I've got a different pair here anyway. So I believe that one goes on there like that. As people have said, the capping stones do overhang. But do I do folds here where these lines are? Or do I just leave them straight? Jerry, you seem to be the expert in this one especially. I don't know how that looks to people. I will try and get you a bit better in focus. There we go. How does that make sense? Like with track being the same size. Yeah, 00, I know that one, that's 4mm, yeah. You can get the rulers online as well. So, Jerry, are you there? Or anybody else that has built this with the capping stones. It says about putting them here. It's not something I can say I've ever done. But the only thing that confuses me is these capping stones have a line through them. So, is that line to cap at the gap here to overhang? Or do I butt it right up with the edge or keep it in line? What is your opinion of this one, guys? I've never really done the capping stone bit before, so that's for 3 caps. I've only got 2 on there because that's a weird thing. They've all got that little line on them. That's a weird thing. If I show you off a drum, because it's got them here. You cut out, you've got, it says like that. What confuses me is obviously that bit is for the top here. But then what's this little bit here? Does that get cut out? Does it bend? Because that, if I can pick it up, it won't pick up now, is, ooh, don't lose it. Not that I lost it years ago, but... But yeah, Jerry, that is equivalent to that one. This first one here, where to cut the faint line, is mimicking. Ah, right. Right, so I have cut it in the right bits. So I just line it up and glue it on then, I'm guessing. Try and line it up, glue it on, and then it's the imitation of a slate, yes. Because this is thinner, I might just use the PVA with it.
Rob, here is your reminder. Check heating.
So I think, guys, I'm going back to the PVA for this bit.
Rob, here is your reminder. Check heating.
I don't know how the card glue works on thinner paper. If Lord Allen is still here, I don't know if he can let me know. So let's get this glued up. There we go. Now I'm not entirely worried about that, and it gives me somewhere to hold with my tweezers, I suppose. Because that bit, as Jerry has let me know, overhangs anyway, so don't worry about that bit. Oh, I knew that would happen. So I need my other tweezers that hold on the other way. So I'm going to get this lined up. So with a PVA, it may take a little bit longer. Now, that doesn't look right. I don't know if this is just me because I've never done capping stones. But does everyone think that looks about right? I had much more experience in it than me. How does that look to people? Does that look where it should be? So one thing, problem is when you cut out paper, you've got those awful white lines now. But is that where it should be, guys, before I go on to the next stage? And that's great from there. Sorry, no. John Cheeseman, are you saying sorry, no to me or to something else? And these will fit in probably a lot easier. They're just so fiddly, aren't they, guys? I think I will go back in with a pen or something afterwards, just to try and get rid of those white lines. John, not meant for there. Correct me if I'm wrong, lovely. It's the buttresses have been built here and attached. So you cut out the buttress capping stones here. Those are those. So that is there to go on top of each bit. As I said, I will try and get rid of this white. I suppose that's the only problem card. Yeah, Jason, that's a good one. Pencil colour over any white edges. That's one problem cutting off paper, isn't it? Yeah, John, I think to me it's strange. I've never really dealt with capping stones or anything before. I'm going off the knowledge of a lot of card kits here. Jason at Barnabus, he's built this one and a few others are. So it probably looks odd to me because I'm just not quite used to it yet, building these kits. So, and like I said, it's from the distance that it's going to be. We're not going to be looking at it this close up once it's on the layout. It'll be further away. So I think you and me both, it's a bit strange, but that is how it's meant to be, so we should be okay. Oh, Jason, we'll let you off this once. Now I want some. Each time you say you're having ice cream, though, I really fancy ice cream. And I think when I finish, I will be getting some ice cream myself. That one looks a heck of a lot better. But I could add a bit more glue at the bottom. I misjudged where the overhang was on this one. As I said, I think once this has dried up, I'll be going with pencil. Another one I have heard people use is pastels as well. I am thinking of getting some pastels just for further bits in the landscaping build. But whether it's not needed yet, I'm not sure if I will get. Oh, Angel Delight Butterscotch. Ice cream flavour. Ooh. I have a Cadbury's Dairy Milk one waiting in the freezer for me. Although I wonder if I've got a bug coming myself. I think my throat's going a bit hoarse and nose is running. Jason, if I come down with something, I am totally blaming you. Just because I can. Those ones are definitely a lot easier to put on. I think the problem is I'm being too critical looking at it this close in the build when it won't even be seen this close. Skip a rum. I skipped 2 rum. Won't cure you, but you didn't know it was for symptoms. Yeah, that's a good one. I've got to go to work tomorrow, though. Michael Buckley. The reason I'm not doing anything in terms of moss or anything yet is because Rob he's kind of obviously decided where he wants to put it. Not that he's let me into that secret yet. But because we're not there with scenery yet, I'm not sure what he has in mind for how he wants to look, whether he does want scenery like it's slightly older church and things. I know it is an older church, but whether he wants it to be one that's quite clean, like some of them you do have, or whether he wants it to be one that is starting to go a bit of the wear and tear, you know, the care. Has it been, you know, is the graveyard itself overgrown or cut? So I think that will come at a later stage, I think. So yeah, shall we do the tower turret on 2 of them while I'm here, or at least one of them, so then you guys aren't seeing me repeat the process. And I think I may say to half of the nights, if I can find them.
If you think about it,
Yes.
the hundreds of churches we photographed,
Yes.
a lot of them are quite well kept, aren't they?
That's why I didn't know what we want to do. As Rob's just said, guys, we do go to quite a few. Nathan Chancellor wall capping stone strips. When did those come into play? But yeah, we see.
I like Jason's idea though of the pencil.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
There we go. There's our corner turrets. Let's read this before I go any further. Oh, white bits on the church of a pigeon messages. I like that. Andrew, you can actually go back on the live section of our channel and they should all be on there for you. I know it's probably slightly different watching after the fact than live, because obviously the messages have happened. People might respond to you a bit later than instantly. He's just said he's missed some of the videos of the build. So Andrew, you can definitely get them back. they should just head to our main channel, and there should be a little section there that says live. We tend to title them all of the same build that I'm doing at the time. So hopefully if you do want to see different stages, definitely check over there afterwards. Even this one will become live shortly after. It's what I like about YouTube, is that I can do lives, and instead of having to save it to my phone, it automatically updates it and uploads it to there, so I'm not without. So I definitely do prefer it. But oh guys, something I've just noticed. Copyright 2014 on this. So I wonder, I don't know. Ah, that's something to look back at. Well, it can. The copyrights on here. Digress a bit there, but I've just noticed. Ah, yes. 2 instructions. 2014, this one. 2018. Yep. Oh, I should have just looked at the dates, guys. So yeah, we do have it in the right order. This first ever one was 2006. The church one is actually 2014, and within the space of 4 years, they've obviously changed it to slightly more instructions. So why I've only just noticed that now. If I'd have seen that before, it would have saved me wondering and even messaging Metcalfe. Feel a bit of a doozy now, but one of those things. Oh no, felt tip pen just went everywhere, eh? And Andrew, yeah, definitely. If you drop comments to people, I'm sure they will reply to you. I know we do keep an eye on it. So if there is any questions from those lives, just drop a message and we will get back to you. I just do understand it is slightly different when it's not live, so. Yeah, we always do. No, I'm just saying if he looks back at the live, it is slightly different, obviously. There we go. Oh, and gravestones. Don't get me buying things I don't need to yet. It's bad as robbing me more horses and land. Although I did get gifted some land today, so I now own half of the plots of land for the farm. Finnis and Brian, Rob is just on his way up. So he might miss it. It's loading on my computer for some reason. How strange. I don't know what's happened now. I hope you guys can still see this. If not, it's the internet here. Usually watching it on my screen. But if anybody isn't getting it, please let me know, guys. Because I don't want you guys to be without it. The comments are still coming up, so I think it's my side here. So now 4 turrets that sit in my corner. The edge is slightly shorter to allow the other to sit on top when glued, right? So let's go ahead with our folding. Very tiny, these bits. Oh, Marina, you West Wales. I never realised. I never realised you were so close to us. We tend to bring the locos in when it is a bit colder, just to keep them protected. got messy here, so I'm just going to tidy this edge up. I don't know if anybody else that's built these kits has noticed the difference in this quality. I am trying to work out with certain things if it's just me as the builder or slightly wrong pack. So yeah, Jerry, I'm just reading that on so slightly narrower than the others, so they overlap. Yeah, I have just noticed that. Set on top when glued. I think it's this one here, isn't it? Actually fits into there. I think I've got that. Watch that table. Don't worry, it's away. I've got my mat here. But I'm assuming that's what it means. In this edge is slightly shorter, so it fits inside the actual card rather than the other. If anybody is happy to confirm that for me, just to make sure I'm carrying on right at the next bit. Yeah, I've got it, Jerry. Good. So what are we doing here? Tower roof instructions. Are on sheet E. So where are the instructions? And okay. I don't see. I'm guessing, sorry guys, I'm just making sure. Yeah, we are looking square, obviously, apart from when do you glue it before you put it on top then, I'm assuming? And then it just fits on top, I imagine. I'm not sure how at this point. I am still figuring out. Ah, is it like this? I don't know. Ah, think. Not that you can see it. So I should have a challenge for how many camera angles I do. When it is glued together, obviously. That slits there, I think. Ah, there we go. So that all slit in like that. Shame it wasn't glued. But there we go. I've got the rough idea now of what I need to do. So it's just a dab of glue along there. Oh, typical when I want it. Need it. Use the PVA for this one because it's just here to hand. Doesn't seem too bad with smaller ones like this, so. Oh, I'm glad I've got small hands. I can see why a lot of you gentlemen might get your missuses to do these. I think small hands are definitely coming in advantage, and even then I'm struggling. I do see why you ask your missus to be involved. So I have done this with PVA. But I might have to go for the glue instead. So we've stuck it. No, I am going to have to go for the other because it's just not sticking well enough. I don't know how you guys do it. I'm struggling with my itty diddy fingers, so. Question is which end did I glue? I think it's this one. Yeah, that one. Very carefully, very slowly. I want it for just a little bit longer. It's just not wanting to stick at that bottom, is it? No, I've got to admit, Pete, doing this now, Jesus, if I was doing this in Engage, whew, I don't know what I would do. The fire station was bad enough. You know, it wasn't too bad. But if I imagine doing something like this in Engage, Jesus, I don't think I would have the patience, even me. Even this is a bit of a toughie, which I don't know if anyone in here has made that castle yet. I can imagine it's going to be much the same with certain points. It's just not wanting to stick down here. Oh dear, Jeff. Yeah, if you divorce, I can see you might not want her there. You bought yours ready-made. Well, me and Rob were saying this with me building kits. Is it something maybe I should look at doing? Making them for people, but... There we go. I think that one is glued now. I'm assuming you don't actually need any glue because it literally just... It just slots over the corners because it's that good a fit. So, let's see. I've got to remember which way I did this now. No, it wasn't that way. Oh, fiddly. Ah, there we go. Think. There we go. There we go, guys. That is that first one done. Whew. And just the turret tops. The tops fitted last, but it shows me two. There is only one size here. Guys, any idea? It's shown me two turret tops. But the turret tops are only these, and there is only 4 of them. Unless it is somewhere on the kit, and it is just one. I don't get why it's showing you 2 there. That is a bit bizarre. It does actually look quite thick. The tops do, so I've got to be missing something, guys. Turret tops. And a turret, well, I'm not getting where the 2 come into it. If there's anything on here. Because that is different turret tops, I think. I'm definitely not going to say that word when I've had a drink. I'm saying carrot tops. Any idea? Have a look on the other sheet, Grace, and something that's... Yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking. That's 2 of each. The problem is, this sheet here, D, the capping stones, but... And churchyard, but we're not churchyard. A lot of this is the lich gate. And obviously the capping stones for right at the end. So it's definitely not this sheet. I am checking through though, just in case I've missed something, because you never know. Because it's certain, like you said, it certainly does look like two sets there. Right, so not that one. Anybody else? Jason, I know you've built it. I know it is slightly different, but if you have any insight. Turret tops, it's, yeah, so it's tops, so it's, it says tower roof instructions. Or on sheet E, well, I can't see anything. I can see stonework for patching turret tops, but they look like completely different ones. But I don't know if these are the smaller ones. These look like smaller ones. That's the only difficult thing. I'm not entirely sure. Because then my only problem, Jerry, my worry is if I find some and they're bigger, I'm going to have to try and switch them off, which it does possibly a message to Metcalfe. I don't know. Again, it doesn't even my sheet. It just says instructions are on sheet E, but I can't seem to see any instructions to do with it on sheet E. Because you've got a church tower stone and then for having additional stone this side. I get that. Unless I think... can you see it, Jerry? As for some reason it's not loading up on my computer. But what concerns me is you would have thought stonework for patching my turret tops here. But that looks completely different. Yeah, it's a different kind of turret. That looks like the ones... Oh, I don't actually know. It's possibly, actually, because you've got them here further on the... you can't see that. You've got them here as well, too. So whether it is this one that's the smaller one and it just looks an odd shape, I'm not sure what you think to that. Valley 56, very good evening, lovely. I think what I might do, because I'm going away, I think I might call it a night, guys. Better to do that than stuff it up. I think that's possibly the best bet. I think what's thrown me is possibly the picture. It looks square, It does look very square, but yet that is rectangular. Michael, good evening. Have a good evening, lovely. You take care tonight. And have a good evening, Pete. And if your missus can hear us, I'm terribly sorry for disturbing her. Show us a complete sheet. Oh, you can't see the whole page. I am sorry, as I said, I haven't got it on my screen, which usually shows more. Well, this is sheet E. But as I said, I think I might call it a night now, just so I can, you know, go and spend a bit of time with Rob before going away and settle myself down for the evening. We're going out tomorrow. I've still got to pack in the morning, you see. As I said, it's lost me because it looks sheet D, sheet D, sheet D. Oh, don't tell me it's on here. Because you've got two different sides there, but they're churchyard wall and churchyard top stone strips. And these are just, again, capping stones, but they're longer. They're at the end, I think, the capping stones. Somewhere else, right? We'll go to sheet, just in case I'm missing it. Sheet, well, if we get sheet C, it would make more sense. Oh, what have I got underneath here? This is sheet A. Obviously, this is a weird thing as well. You've got your corner top turrets and your tower corner turrets. Oh, sorry, your corner turret tops. But there's only 4, so it can't be that you double them up. Sorry, John, I'm not sure what you've missed, lovely. Have you seen that one, Jerry? And then you've got sheet B, which again, if I get rid of sheet A, so we're not. Instructions, Brian, is we've made the turret. We've got the turret tops. If I move this on top, actually, it might be easier for you guys to read. So you've got the turret tops here, but as it shows, it's 2 turret tops. So it mentions instructions are on sheet E for the tower roof. But I don't see any instructions here for the tower roof as such. But as I said, I've looked through all the other sheet and there is no extra stones. Sheet C is completely empty. Sorry, I'll say another word. Your corner turrets. Which ones are the corner turrets? Sorry, lovely. Which are my corner? Because that's patching turret tops. So I don't know if these are involved in it or just a corner turret tops. Go on top of the turrets. Yeah, Jeff. I've got that. Those are obviously for the top. But the picture's got 2 of them. That's what's thrown me. Anything on the back of sheet E, I can take a look. But no, completely blank. It's literally just a sheet of paper. I am glad I'm not the only one that's reading this and now a bit confused by it, to be honest. Clock sheet, I think this is the clock sheet, isn't it? I'm just so glad I'm not the only one going through this and like, But I think I might go with Jerry's suggestion. Just use the 2. Because if it is these little corner ones, which I doubt, they're a different shape completely. And also, I'm not sure if I try this out. I don't know if that actually fits. This looks like it. And for wall caps, yeah. I'm glad in one sense I wasn't being thick in that. I do have my moments, but I think I'm knowing these a little bit. But my worry is as well, I have to use plain card and a printed top piece. Well, this is what's confused me. Because one, it would be a different colour. But it says tower roofing instructions on sheet A, but there's not any clear instructions. All you've got is the church tower stone, which goes across the... They're to cover the cornerstones that show from behind the buttresses, where they're fixed to. So... There's no clear one on that, but my worry is with this capping stone. Is it... I think, guys, I don't know though. Because there is at least a gap, but it just doesn't seem as big as the picture. So it does overhang a bit, but I wouldn't say as much as the picture makes out. Oh, I meant to do that. Just worries me that it seems one side it does overlap and one way it doesn't, which I don't know how that works when it's a square, but I'm guessing it's all about lining it up. Right, so... I think, guys, what I'm going to go is go with this one. Seems it's kind of thrown everyone tonight, so I always feel a little bit better when it's not just me. Just going to neaten up because I've noticed the edges have gone a bit... Again, I don't think the cutting on this one is as smooth as other kits. I didn't do that because... Maureen, very good night, lovely. I'm just fixing this and then going myself. So, I think that's... Yeah, for some reason, the card itself has come away from that. So, let's get this attached. And then I will bid you all good night. Just show me the heavy card underneath the other sheets, please. The heavy card. That one? Do you mean that one? This one I find out there is something here to attach. Oh, it's only one that you can see. Oh, okay, maybe it's just me, guys. I think I'm bottom of the heap of the table. This one, darling. Sheet B. Because these are the capping stones for the end for the nave and chancel. And then a doorstep for whatever that is. I'm guessing that's for the porch somehow. But again, there's no clear instructions how to attach that either. So... Jerry, I'm glad it's not just me, lovely. But I think for now, others are saying that it looks okay. Paul just said he's looked on Metcalfe's site and it is only one that he can see. So I don't know if I should just go ahead or get in touch with Metcalfe and see if there is indeed something missing. Yeah, that's the problem, isn't it, Jerry? This is what I mean, is the instructions have improved. There's still 4 years between the church and then the fire instruction one. So, as I said, it seems like they really have, you know, really gone through it to make sure. And if it's a strengthener, they're labelled well. And Jeff, have a lovely evening. But I think I'm just going to go ahead for it. And then at least it's done. Otherwise I will probably lose it. But if I do it with PVA glue, chances are, if it is somehow around, and I've probably got more chance of getting it off without too much damage. Because obviously it's not exactly a thick piece of card, so I don't want to do it too much to the point it rips it out. I think I'm just going to have to be very careful with my placement of this. And just hope for best. Man, I miss my other tweezers right now. So I'm just trying to get that overhang. God, it is so fiddly. And obviously make sure at the same time it is straight. Bugs me is it kind of overhangs but line up here. Yeah, this is how we're looking with that, guys. Oh, looks like my man is doing the same as Rob's. But I think for tonight then, guys, yeah, they are fiddly. That is me for the evening. So I will possibly get the other capping pardon me, the capping stones done off the air as such. I just think there's no point boring you guys with the exact same thing each time, especially how long each stage does take. I really don't want to bore you guys with that. So I will probably get the capping stones done up here, the turrets, and that done before the next live. Unfortunately, there will be no live for sure the rest of this week. Maybe Sunday night at a very stretch. However, I really don't know how long I'm going to be at this event or what time I get back. If I manage to get back super early, there's a slim chance, but more than likely probably not, because I want to spend it with Rob. So I think next week now will be my next live. And hopefully Jason is feeling better by then, so it won't be on Tuesday night. Jason, thanks again for letting me do it tonight. I actually sent him a message asking, you know, was he happy for me to nip on when it is his night, and it's not like he's possessive or anything, it's just courtesy. Obviously we are very new to it. I'm a newbie in a sense. And he was happy for me to use his time. I know it was an hour later, but I thought at least it gives you guys something on a Tuesday night. But Rob will be here during the week. So any queries as usual, we should both pick up unless I have no signal. And hopefully next week, majority of next week, the beginning of next week, we're normal. And then towards the weekend, we've got a wedding. So for the next few weeks, guys, everything's falling on me. For the next few weeks, guys, it's things are probably going to be a bit less than normal. I would say that in terms of a live in an episode, we're aiming to get at least one live and one episode done a week. So there's at least something from us, so you guys aren't missing out. But any more than that for the next couple of weeks might be pushing it, just with what we've got going on. We will try and do more if we can, but we can't promise. So from me, guys, I want to say a very good night. Thank you so much for helping us get to 3,000 viewers. Oh, that's weird. That doesn't even... It's kind of... Oh. But yeah, getting to 3,000 viewers is just amazing. You know, me and Rob both appreciate it. And unfortunately, the only thing with my computer not loading is I don't know when you guys are going to get to this stage of me saying goodbye. If somebody could possibly put a message on my chat to say that I'm saying goodbye, just so I know that it's caught up with everyone, because I would hate to cut anyone off. So guys, thank you very much for joining in tonight. Hopefully we will catch you on week in messages as such. And until then, guys, bye for now. Flymo, I've just caught your message. As I said, I'm not entirely sure whether everyone's got to the end yet or not, so I always keep it on for a few seconds. We've still got quite a few watching. So if anybody could drop me a message to kind of say that, like, you've reached this point, just it's a way I know that I can end the stream without cutting anyone off. Please. It's still running, so it is kind of finished. So if I turn it off now, I'm not going to cut anyone off, Flymo. Right, I am going to end it now, guys. I am sorry if anybody watches this back. I've been waiting for this. Or if anybody catches this, me cutting out. I don't know if, depending where people are in the world, if that's why there's a delay. Yeah, that's true, Flymo. Is it just people are away from the stream but still got it on? That's a very good point. Well, anyway, if I do cut anyone off and they're rewatching it, I do apologise. And for future, anybody, I never mean to cut anyone off, but I do keep an eye on kind of a watch count of who's watching, just so I try not to. But if you're elsewhere in the world and find that I am cutting off, please let me know so we can try and work out the time delay so you don't miss anything. Because I know we have a few people around the world watching, so if anybody finds it's cutting off and you are not the UK, let me know and we can try and figure it out. Okay, guys, actually going now. Take care, everyone. Okay. Thanks, Flymo. It is appreciated. But I am going to turn it off now. So thanks very much, lovely. Because the video is still running. It's just I haven't turned it off yet. I just checked the watchers in case. I don't know if there's a delay abroad. So we'll figure it out one of these days. Thank you anyway, Flymo. Good night.